Mr. Depp, did you ever physically abuse Ms. Heard during your relationship?
Never.
Johnny Depp takes the stand in his rebuttal case after the jury hears from his ex-girlfriend, British supermodel Kate Moss.
I had a relationship with him.
Did there come a time when you and Mr. Depp had a romantic relationship?
Yes.
Did Johnny Depp really push Kate Moss down a set of stairs as Amber Heard suggested? Kate Moss settles the question once and for all. Welcome to Law&Crime's Sidebar podcast. I'm Anjanette Levy, coming to you from the Fairfax County Courthouse in Virginia, where the case of Johnny Depp v. Amber Heard is in its final week. Wednesday was a big day for Johnny Depp's team. It started with Depp's team calling Kate Moss to testify via video link from the UK. We've told you for the last 2 weeks that Amber Heard opened the door for Moss to testify about Depp when she said all that she could think about was Kate Moss in the stairs during a fight with Depp in March of 2015 at the top of the stairs in their penthouse, where Heard's sister Whitney said Depp hit her in the back. Until then, Depp was barred from presenting testimony from his exes, but Heard's mention of Moss was a gift to Depp's team. Heard had testified in the UK case that she heard a rumor that Depp had thrown Kate Moss down a set of stairs.
Ms. Moss, did there come a time when you, while you and Mr. Depp were a couple, that the two of you took a vacation together to the Golden Eye Resort in Jamaica?
Yes.
What, if anything, happened when you were in Jamaica with Mr. Depp?
We were leaving the room, and Johnny left the room before I did, and there had been a rainstorm, and as I left the room, I slid down the stairs, and I hurt my back.
How did you...
And
I apologize, Ms. Moss. Please continue.
And I screamed because I was because I didn't know what had happened to me, and I was in pain, and he came running back to help me and carried me to my room and got me medical attention.
Did Mr. Depp push you in any way down the stairs?
No.
During the course of your relationship, did he ever push you down any stairs?
No, he never pushed me, kicked me, or threw me down any stairs.
Kate Moss is an icon. She is supermodel royalty, and she threw cold water all over this claim that Depp threw her down a set of stairs. Moss's testimony was limited to that claim, but everyone in the courtroom wanted to hear more from her. How could you not? I remember when Moss and Depp dated back in the mid-90s. They were always in the tabloids and were an it couple. Moss modeled for Calvin Klein, and she and Depp were known to party. Depp once trashed a hotel room in New York while dating Moss. He paid for the damage, and a misdemeanor charge was dropped. The New York Post reported that Moss and Depp had sex in every room of the Chateau Marmont in West Hollywood. Amber Heard's lawyers did not cross-examine Moss and even objected when Ben Chew asked her why she was testifying, and Heard's camp was not happy about the testimony. Next, Dr. Shannon Curry, the Depp team's forensic psychologist, returned to the stand to rebut claims made by Heard's expert, Dr. Don Hughes, that Heard suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder. Curry is adamant that Heard feigned symptoms of PTSD. On cross-examination, Heard's attorney, with limited time left in her case, brought up, again, the fact that Curry met with Depp and his legal team at his home when she was interviewed for the position.
You talked about transparency. I just want to make sure you had several designations, expert designations and reports in this case, correct?
Yes.
And in not one of them did you disclose that you had dinner and drinks at Mr. Depp's house for 3 to 4 hours with Mr. Waldman, Mr. Chu, and Ms. Vasquez. Is that correct?
Ms. Bredehoff, you're mischaracterizing what occurred.
Dr. Curry, please answer the question. Not once did you disclose this in any of your reports.
I did not
correct?
disclose that I was interviewed as that standard procedure.
But it's true that you have never gone to a client's house to be interviewed for an expert witness position, correct?
Yes, because I never had a client that was essentially homebound because of their celebrity status.
All right. And you talked to Mr. Depp for 3 to 4 hours before taking on the role of assessing Ms. Heard and deciding whether she was suffering from any distress, correct?
I did not talk to Mr. Depp. I was talking to his legal team, and he was there to observe.
He was present for the 3 to 4
Yes.
hours. And are you saying now he just stayed silent and said nothing all day?
I don't recall what he didn't or didn't do. I was answering questions.
Now, many of the lawyers at the Law&Crime Network feel this is much ado about nothing. Maybe they agree Depp's home wasn't the best place for the interview, but if you are the client and you're cutting a big check for an expert, our legal analysts say you would want to meet that expert. Then Johnny Depp, as we knew he would, returned to the stand. Depp testified the first time he saw statements of his lawyer Adam Waldman to the Daily Mail calling Heard's abuse claims a hoax was in August 2020, when Heard filed a counterclaim. Depp's lawyer, Jessica Myers, asked him whether he recalled Heard testifying that Depp did not help her get her role in Aquaman. Depp said that wasn't exactly true. Depp said Warner Brothers had a concern about Heard filming in Australia, so he called 3 Warner Brothers executives. Remember, Depp, at the time, had a multi-film deal with Warner Brothers. Depp said ultimately Heard got the job and he curbed any concerns that Warner Brothers had. Also, Depp said he had not taken 8 to 10 MDMA pills in Australia as Heard had claimed. He said if he had, he'd likely be dead. When asked, he called the physical and sexual abuse allegations made against him by Heard savage and heinous.
No human being is perfect, certainly not. None of us. But I have never in my life committed sexual battery, physical abuse, all these outlandish, outrageous stories of me committing these things. And living with it for 6 years and waiting to be able to bring the truth out. So this is not easy for any of us. I know that. But no matter what happens, I did get here and I did tell the truth, and I have spoken up for what I've been carrying on my back reluctantly for 6 years.
Depp went toe-to-toe with Ben Rottenborn on cross-examination. Rottenborn brought up the text message Depp sent to his former agent, Christian Carino, in 2016. When mollusk is mentioned in the text, I'm pretty sure that Depp means Elon Musk.
Mr. Depp, you sent this text to Christian Carino on August 15th?
I most certainly did.
Okay. And in this text that you sent to Christian, Christian Carino is the person who used to be Amber's agent and then was your agent for a time, correct?
That is correct.
And in this text, Your Honor, permission to publish, please.
Do you want to put in evidence
Yeah,
first?
move for admission of
Any
857A.
objection?
No objection.
All right, 857A, as redacted, will be in evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor. And in this text, Mr. Depp, you said, she's begging for total global humiliation. She's going to get it. I'm going to need your texts about San Francisco, brother. I'm even sorry to ask, but she sucked Mollusk's crooked and he gave her some lawyers. I have no mercy, no fear, and not an ounce of emotion, or what I once thought was love for this gold-digging, low-level, dime-a-dozen, mushy, pointless, dangling, overused, flappy fish market. I'm so f***ing happy she wants to go to fight this out. She will hit the wall hard, and I cannot wait to have this waste of a cum guzzler out of my life. I met a f***ing sublime little Russian here, which made me realize the time I blew on that 50-cent stripper. I wouldn't touch her with a glove. I can only hope that karma kicks in and takes the gift of breath from her. Sorry, man, but now I will stop at nothing. Let's see if Mollusk has a pair. Come see me face to face. I'll show him things he's never seen before, like the other side of his when I slice it off. Did I read that right?
You did.
Rottenborn showed Depp photos from his and Heard's honeymoon in the summer of 2015. He suggested that Depp was lying about Heard hitting him on the Orient Express, leaving a black eye. He displayed photos of Depp at a children's hospital holding a child and suggested Depp had the black eye before boarding the train. Depp said the shadow in the photo and the photo of his black eye on the train were not the same markings. Then the jury heard from Morgan Tremaine, a former employee of the gossip website TMZ. A lawyer for TMZ tried to stop Tremaine from testifying, citing journalist privilege, but Tremaine actually reached out to Depp's team and then was subpoenaed. Judge Azcarate allowed Tremaine to testify, and he had a lot of interesting things to say. Get this. He talked about arranging for a photographer to go to the courthouse in LA on May 27, 2016, when Amber Heard filed for the restraining order against Depp. TMZ had received a tip.
What was your team of paparazzi supposed to do while they were at the Los Angeles courthouse on May 27, 2016?
Their objective was to capture her leaving the courthouse, and then she was going to sort of stop and turn towards the camera to display the bruise on the right side of her face, the alleged bruise.
Did your team of videographers get the shot of Amber Heard?
We did.
Tremaine also testified that he reached out to Depp's legal team after seeing the video of Depp slamming kitchen cabinets played during the trial. Tremaine said he reached out to Camille Vasquez because he handled that video for TMZ when it was sent to them through a Dropbox link. Tremaine said the copyright process went really quickly, about 15 minutes, which likely meant he was dealing with the person who owned the copyright. Tremaine also said the video played during the trial differed from what he had received because what he received didn't contain the part where Heard was setting up the camera and then laughing at the end. On cross, Elaine Bredehoff suggested that Tremaine was looking for the spotlight.
How do you know what video was shown at this trial?
I was alerted by a friend that that TMZ was being kind of talked about in this trial, and so I had seen a clip of that.
So you watched some of this trial?
Correct.
Okay. When did you first reach out to counsel for Mr. Depp?
I believe that was 6 days ago, whatever that date would be. I'd have to do that.
All right. And then you received a subpoena, I think yesterday, in care of your attorney, Cindy Hickox, right?
Correct.
Okay. And Cindy Hickox represents Kristi Dombrowski, Kate James, Robin Baum.
Objection,
and
Your
Debbie
Honor.
Lloyd. Were you aware
Calls
of
for
that?
speculation.
Overruled.
Were you aware of that?
No.
Okay. Now, if you don't have information that's helpful to this case, then you wouldn't be a witness, correct?
Objection. Calls for
can't-
speculation.
Sustained. Sustained. Next question.
I'm not aware.
Okay. You know this case is being televised, right?
I am aware that there are cameras.
And so this gets you your 15 minutes of fame, doesn't
Objection, Your Honor. Argumentative.
it? I can ask that question.
Overruled.
So I stand to gain nothing from this. I'm actually putting myself kind of in a target of TMZ, a very litigious organization, and I'm not seeking any 15 minutes here. Though you're welcome to speculate. I could say the same thing by taking Amber Heard as a client for you.
A little argumentative, don't you think?
Oh, hardly. I find that to be purely logical.
Wow, that was like a mic drop moment. I was in the courtroom all day, and I think everyone in there, when that happened, laughed and tried not to make any noise so we wouldn't disrespect the court. But Tremaine clapping back like that, it was really something. It was a big moment. Now, the last two witnesses of the day were Brian Neumeister, a computer forensics expert who examined photos of Amber Heard's suspected injuries. He said the photos had been edited, and he couldn't verify the authenticity of the photos based on what had been turned over to him. Looking for more true crime content? You might like Canadian True Crime, one of Canada's top indie podcasts. Join Kristi Lee, an Australian who moved to Canada over a decade ago, as she explores the dark underbelly of the Canadian justice system. Using facts curated from court documents and news archives, Kristi carefully unfolds each story and examines the impact on victims, survivors, and relevant communities. with a mix of well-known cases as well as those you might not have heard of. There's currently more than 100 episodes waiting for you, so find Canadian True Crime on your favorite podcast app or at canadiantruecrime.ca. And Beverly Leonard, who witnessed the 2009 Seattle airport incident between Amber Heard and her former partner, Tasia Van Ree, testified that Heard was aggressive toward Van Ree and smelled of alcohol. This testimony was allowed because of Heard's mention of Kate Moss, which made that incident fair game. Thanks for listening to this edition of Law and Crime Sidebar. I'm Anjanette Levy, coming to you all week from the Fairfax County Courthouse. You can listen to Sidebar on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else you get your podcasts. We'll see you next time.